Hey guys, welcome back to the Mopar Garage. Welcome back to our 1986 Carroll Shelby Dodge Daytona Turbo Z project. Couple cool things to talk about today. One, I believe I have finally located the missing A-pillar trim for the passenger side. It is painted black that this guy has, but finally I posted on a forum and was basically begging for it, saying I'll pay whatever price. And somebody did reach out after a couple weeks, and looks like we're gonna get one. So that's cool. Second thing, taking us back to Tuesday's video, working on the second gen idle issue. I did put a brand new idle air control valve in it, OEM Mopar part. Seems to run a little better. It's still kind of doing the same thing, but I'm hoping if we run it for a few days, maybe it'll come out of it, because it does seem better. So we'll see how that pans out. We'll keep you updated. But what we're going to be doing in the garage today is, I found this website called turbosunleashed.com. One of the cool things is they have a section where they specialize in these Dodge 2.2 Turbo 1 engines, which is exactly what this is. 146 horsepower. 2.2 liter non-intercooled turbo. So they've got like a whole section. It's got a camshaft, it's got a ported head, it's got valves. I mean, they got all kinds of cool performance parts for this thing. What we are going to be working on today, and what they had, is a braided turbo supply line kit. Here it is here. Beautiful pieces. The quality so far seems great. This is our oil supply line. This is our coolant supply line, I believe. I believe this guy plugs into this. And then our coolant drain back line. So really cool braided steel pieces to replace, this crap. Really doesn't look good on the car. I've got them soaking in PP Blaster already, but this guy's our coolant supply line we're gonna replace. And then our oil supply line comes down, plugs into the block right down here. I don't know if you guys can see that, probably not. And then our drain back line basically just plugs into the back of the block. So all new pieces, really nice AN fittings, really well put together, nice braided lines. So we're gonna jump on it. Already got everything soaking in PB, like I said. So we're just going to assemble these guys, throw some Teflon tape on them, and then start the process. All right, we got our coolant supply initial elbow installed. We are gonna have to do something about our airbox bracket. It does not clear. So it's going to be close, but it doesn't quite clear. So we're gonna have to cut out a notch right in this elbow right here, I believe. Not a big deal. All that does is hold that air box, and that air box doesn't weigh hardly anything. So we are gonna have to cut out a little notch there. This ground does clear. Put some Teflon tape on our fittings. I think next step now is to remove our oil supply line, which hooks up down in here. Get you a light here, hold on. Okay. Our oil supply line goes right down in there. Okay, so that one's gonna be a really tough one to get a wrench on. Might end up being a vice grips job. We'll see. All right, that was a tough one there a little bit. I had to unplug what is presumably our oil pressure sensor here. There she is. All right, oil supply line is in, ready to get hooked up to the turbo when it gets ready. I'm gonna leave our coolant supply line loose on this side so that in case when we put the turbo in, we have to get that out of the way, but that's pretty nice right there. That's gonna look good. Okay, cool, so these guys are in. Our drain back line is next. Or our return, I guess I should say our coolant return line. We'll have to crawl underneath the car because I believe this plugs into the back side of the block. So we'll see you down there. All right, down here under the car, under the back of the engine, first thing that I noticed is that our EGR hooks up to nothing. The pipe is broken that goes into the collector. So what I thought was a broken O2 sensor is actually a broken off EGR valve pipe. So we'll have to look at getting a new one of those. Turbo's out anyway, so that won't be a big deal. Now I have to look and see where, okay, right there. That's where our coolant return is. All right. Half of this is for your viewing pleasure. The other half is because I can't see down here, so. That's why we got the flash on. Okay, beautiful. Come on, baby. All right. I am soaked, but this is what we got here. This was our coolant return line. Terrible, just awful. We need this fitting, so we're gonna break this apart, Teflon this guy up, and then insert our new line into this fitting, and then put this fitting into the block. All right. My initial assessment was incorrect. We didn't have to reuse the old fitting. We used the new one that came with the line. We are all good to go on the return line. All right, so there we have it. Our oil line, coolant supply line, and coolant return line down there are all braided steel. I think the last step in this installation is to see how much we're going to need to modify our airbox mount. We're going to need to make quite a cut in this thing so it clears that line. right, certainly not perfect, but that works. All right, our braided steel Turbos Unlimited lines for our turbo are complete. Our cutout in the airbox worked great. It leaves just enough room for the coolant line to feed through. Probably will pull this back off and throw a coat of paint on it because we did just grind on it and cut it. So very happy with how everything turned out. Left some fittings loose because I'm sure we're gonna have to move some stuff around once we put the turbo back in, but these lines look great. All 3 lines, including our coolant return line back here, look awesome. They came out great. They certainly look a heck of a lot better than what came out of it. So pretty excited about the progress. Very happy with how everything turned out. That's pretty much gonna wrap up this video. We are trying to upload twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So far, so good on that. I did, you could probably see, drop a wrench on my head while I was under the car today. That coolant return line was actually the worst one. It was a pain in the butt because you had to be under the car to do it. So our fuel injectors did show up today while we were working on the car, so that's good. Kind of looking at what we're gonna do with this turbo to replace this turbo, and then the intake and exhaust side of the engine will be done and we'll be able to move on. So progress has been going really, really good. We should have this thing on the road in a few months. Well, maybe not even that long. Once it's on the road, we'll really shake it down, put some miles on it, and then once I'm confident that everything is good mechanically, we'll obviously do the paint and start doing cosmetic stuff at that point. So pretty excited about it. We are trying to get the channel monetized this year, 2022. To get there, we need 1,000 subscribers. So the percentage-wise, the channel has been growing really, really good. So hopefully that growth is exponential and we meet our goal this year. So if you like the video, like and subscribe to the channel. It really will help us out because we need to get to, like I said, 1,000 subscribers, and then we'll be able to get monetized. So really happy with the growth so far, really happy with the project so far. Thanks for all the support. We will see you on the next one.